Hey YouTube, what's up? I want to do a video today where I do some tone comparisons between some pretty awesome gear. So I've been wanting to do this for a while, just kind of just lay out there a couple of things. We've got a Mesa Tremoverb head right here, which I think is the best recto that they did. Underneath it, we've got the oversized recto cab with the 4 vintage 30s in it. Over here, we've got the Mesa JP-2C head, and underneath it, we've got a Marshall 1960B with the G12T-75s in it. Pretty killer gear, very different tones, all good. You just kind of have to work with them and see what you like. We're playing on a ESP KH-2 today, so anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to play. I just wanted to get some tones, so don't worry about all this screw-ups I'm going to probably make, but listen to the tone and just kind of the differences between the different gear. So anyway, I'm going to start off on the Tremoverb, and it's going into the vintage 30s right now. I've got it on the 85 neck pickup. I'm a metal guy. I like playing heavy stuff, but the cleans on this thing are so pure and buttery. I could just sit and noodle on them all day long. So let's do a little bit of that right now. So yeah, there's just an example of some cleans on this thing. Just super smooth. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to kick over to the red channel, and I've got the red channel on modern high gain because honestly, that's what I like. Now, rectos need a boost. I'll kick it down to the 81 and the bridge pickup. Without a boost, it's a little thin. I've got an EMG afterburner in this thing, so I'll go and kick that on for a 20 decibel boost and listen to the So you can hear how much the boost really helps this thing, but some pretty good tones. Now also, right now I'm just kind of playing at house levels. I'm recording through a little GoPro, and if I turn up the volume to rehearsal levels, it'll just blow out the mic in the GoPro. So obviously these are tube amps. They do sound better when you crank them, but really, for house levels, when you're not playing with a drum or anything like that, you can still get some pretty damn good tones out of them. So next, I'm going to go ahead and take the Tremoverb, and I'm going to kick it over to the 1960 cab so you can see how that sounds. Now the 1960 cab, I've got it set up running stereo. Make sure I jack them in right. Yep. Because it's going through the boogie, I've got them running in stereo. So anyway, now let's go back and revisit that clean tone going through the G12T-75s. I'll go ahead and move the camera over so it's in front of the speaker just the same. G12T-75 is a little darker, still has really good sound. I've tried mix and match them. A lot of guys like to do 275s and 2 vintage 30s. I don't really like to mix and match. I think pick one or the other, because you know they kind of do their own thing. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it back over to high gain. I'm going to throw it down. I'm just going to go ahead and put the boost on. So here you can kind of hear that recto sound coming out of the T12T75s. Now the Tremoverb, one of the things I like about it, I think it's a little darker than most of the other rectos. And once again, it's real quiet right now. I've got it on the silicon diode rectifiers, but I do have it on spongy, which just kind of lowers the volume because once again, I am just at home right now. I'd take it off that if I was out rehearsing or something where I'd really be jamming it up. So now you've seen kind of what the sound of the recto going through the V30s versus through the T12 or G12T75s. So now let's go ahead and kick it over to the JP-2C and kind of do the same thing, and so you can see what the mark sound is like compared to the recto sound. Now, I've never played an actual 2C+. I've played lots of other marks. This thing, at first, I wasn't entirely sure what to think about it, but the longer I have it, the more I really love how this thing sounds. I've just got it on 60 watt right now because once again, playing at home. So now I've got the JP-2C going into vintage 30s in this oversized cap. Move the mic back over here. My bad. In front of the speaker. Get you all screwed up there. Alright. So now we're on the clean channel. I'll put it back on the 85. So it's a little bit brighter. One of the things people have said is just how much headroom the clean channel has on this, and it does. It has a ton of headroom. You know, it's a little bit brighter and crisper than in the recto. The recto is super warm and buttery, so they're very different clean tones. Also, on the marks, you know, the marks always have the graphic equalizers in them, and for the gain stuff, you always want to use the GEQ for it to sound best. And on the other marks that I've played for the clean channel, I usually use the GEQ as well. On this thing, I don't use the GEQ on the clean channel just because it sounds so good. So really solid clean sound, but yeah, it's not the butter like this thing is, so kind of gives you the idea. Anyway, on to the fun stuff. I'm going to kick it back down to the 81, throw it over on channel 2. Now, I've got it on shred mode because I think that kind of gives the old mark sound the way I like to hear it. This thing doesn't really need a boost. I mean, I can boost it, but it doesn't really need it. You know, here it is without the boost. condenser mic. Now I'll go ahead and throw the boost on. So it's just got a ton of gain, this thing does. Once again, that's over here through the V30s right now. Boost off. Here it is. So yeah, tons of gain on this thing. It's a really cool sound, you know, definitely different from the other Mark amps that I've tried. Alright, so now I'm going to put the JP-2C over on the G12 T-75s. Make sure I jack it in right, so I don't melt any power transformers. Alright, let's go back on the clean. I was like, where'd I put my pick? Alright, back on the 85. So once again, we got the JP-2C on the G12 T-75s now, and I'm back on the cleans. Something similar to that before. Alright, now back to the fun stuff. Kick it down on the 81s, and we're going to go over to channel 2. Once again, it's on shred mode. I've got the boost off right now. Let's see, what are we going to play? Forgot to move the camera. Alright. There. Now you're in front of the speaker. Sorry about that. Off. I'm going to go ahead and turn the boost on. about 37 screw-ups in that, but that's okay, because we're just listening to tone. And anyway, I think that might be a tone that you've heard before. It's pretty solid, and I'm super happy with it. So, anyway, got some examples here, Recto versus Mark. Got some examples, 1960 versus the Boogie with the vintage 30s. You know, there's goodness in all of it. It just kind of depends on what you need to do. And hope you enjoyed it. I guess that's about all I've got for now. All right, thanks guys. See you next time.